Canelo Alvarez, the Ginger King, and Cash Cow of Boxing is back in the news cycle. Before we go any further, hit that sub button and hit the alert so you know when the podcast is going live. Trust Fund Eddie Hearn was on the DAZN boxing show with AK and Barack this morning where he spoke about Canelo Alvarez's 2023 plans and also stated in the interview that they're working on 2024 already. See, this is what separates Canelo from these other dudes in boxing. He's continuing to outpace these other fighters with activity. He and his team lay out a clear and concise plan to the public as to what his goals are for that particular year. Canelo is clearly concerned with legacy, and his actions back that up. Take 2022, for example. Canelo and his team announced that there was likely a 3-fight deal in play with Matchroom, in which Canelo would fight Dmitry Bivol in May, Gennady Golovkin trilogy in September, and likely a fight with John Ryder, possibly in the UK, in December. That plan was derailed by Bivol in May when he defeated Canelo Alvarez, but even 17 days after that loss, Canelo Alvarez announced his pay-per-view with Gennady Golovkin would go through for September. That's point number one. Many fighters at the top level, if not all, would have licked their wounds for 9 to 12 months before they did anything in boxing after a loss. Canelo kept it moving. And in keeping it moving and fighting Golovkin before his surgery, he's now only 5 months behind the initial plan in fighting John Ryder. Trust Fund Eddie stated in the interview that they're looking for site locations for the Ryder and Bivol fights in May and September, respectively. And Canelo will likely be putting all 4 of his belts at 168 on the line against a dangerous Dmitry Bivol, who, by the way, fights close to his weight, so 168 isn't a big stretch for him. Hearn also stated that he spoke to Reynoso and Canelo about 2024 plans, which possibly include the Benavidez versus Plant winner and possibly a Mexico versus Puerto Rico showdown with Berlanga if Berlanga were to come over to Matchroom. Canelo still calling the shots, ain't a thing changed.